Ko is an 8th grader who denied a classmate's dating advances and was called a jerk by the other girls in his class. After that, he began to skip school and had trouble sleeping. So one night he decides to go out for a walk when Nazuna comes up and talks to him. She tells him that the nighttime is when you can release your true inhibitions and offers to help him sleep. Ko goes back to her place and ends up falling asleep even though he didn't plan to. That's when Nazuna feeds from him and realizes that he tastes really good. But Ko wakes up and realizes that she's a vampire. She informs Ko that the only way for people to turn into vampires is if they fall in love with the vampire that fed from them. Ko then asks Nazuna if she could turn him into a vampire because he likes the night and still doesn't want to go back to school. But she doesn't want offspring, so she's willing to keep drinking his blood, and if he falls in love with her, then that's on him, but she refuses to fall in love. The next night, Ko realizes he has no way of contacting her since she doesn't have a phone. So he brings her a wristwatch transceiver that they can use to communicate when they are both within a certain range. Turns out he had a pair as a kid because he wanted to befriend someone, but realizing that he had no friends, he hid the other one, waiting for someone to find it. Ended up wimping out and never called it. One night, Ko decides to call the old transceiver, only to hear it go off right behind him, where his classmate Akira was on her way to school early. Turns out Ko hid the other watch on top of Akira's mailbox, so she thought it was for her the whole time, and figured they were friends. The next night, Ko sneaks off to meet Akira, who's confused about the nature of his relationship with Nazuna, a vampire. Nazuna asserts their relationship is purely physical, demonstrating by drinking Ko's blood. Ko admits to Akira that he left school because he was unhappy, similar to Akira. Akira pleads with him to return to school for the sake of their friendship, but Ko hesitates to answer whether he'll go or not, which makes Nazuna upset. After making amends, they meet up, and Nazuna sees Ko's bloody lip from a fall and kisses him. After that, Ko avoids Nazuna as he thinks he's in love and can now turn into a vampire. However, when Nazuna drinks his blood, she tells him that he isn't in love, but just infatuated. But Ko identifies 2 advantages to Nazuna drinking his blood. It calms his intense emotions and helps him assess his genuine feelings. He also begins to get jealous of Nazuna's past blood donors and the attention she gets from other guys. Akira, unable to sleep, meets Ko and is invited to hang out with him and Nazuna before school. She learns about the kiss between them, and they play games and talk until 4 a.m. They inform Akira about the possibility of Ko becoming a vampire. Akira remains okay with this and promises to remain his friend and try to bring him back to school. Nazuna also suggests that a fulfilling day leads to a good sleep, and Akira ends up oversleeping and being late for school. Nazuna makes a living as a professional cuddler, using this as an opportunity to get blood. However, due to regularly hanging out with Ko, she hasn't had clients and is financially strapped, so she has Ko handle a client named Shirakawa, an office worker Nazuna had previously given massages. She rewards Ko with half of her payment and a kiss. When Shirakawa receives a late-night work call, she becomes stressed. Ko asks for Nazuna's help to prevent her from going back to work so late. So Nazuna's solution: throw her right out the window. They manage to catch her, and Ko tells her about his plans of turning into a vampire and hints at transforming her too. Ko notices Kikyou rejecting a man, and after, she decides to approach him. Then, she attempts to bite him, but Nazuna intervenes by severing her arm. Kikyou informs Nazuna that vampires' association with humans is frowned upon, unless they are considered food or offspring. She scolds Nazuna for stringing Ko along without turning him, thereby endangering him. Kikyou's acquaintance Kabura introduces Ko to a group of popular vampires, offering to turn him since he already knows of their existence. However, Ko insists on Nazuna being the one to turn him. Upon Nazuna's arrival, the other vampires learn about their deal. Nazuna will drink his blood until Ko genuinely falls in love, leading to his transformation. They agree to their arrangement, but set a deadline of 1 year from his first bite to fall in love, or he will permanently remain a human. Realizing the weight of the situation, Akira points out to Ko that if he fails to fall in love, the vampires will likely kill him for knowing too much. At school, Akira talks to Mahiru, who's been up all night due to his late-night crush. He suggests a hangout, catching Akira by surprise as they haven't hung out before apart from their childhood interactions. Ko and Kikyou discuss his struggle to fall in love and Nazuna's lack of help. Kikyou offers to guide him, leading him to ask Nazuna on a date, which she initially refuses. Despite her disinterest, she goes along with the plan as it was arranged by Kikyou. Kikyou became tired of romantic notions and yearned for friendship, something not allowed to her. Kikyou helped Akiyama during a fall, and they became friends after that. However, Akiyama's infatuation complicated their friendship. As she contemplates killing him, Nazuna steps in to prevent her. Akiyama confesses his love and tells Kikyou that she can turn him, resulting in him becoming her new offspring. Midori requests Nazuna's help at the Vampire Maid Cafe. Arisa, another maid at the cafe, appears to be the victim of an online photo leak, so Ko and Midori stake out in a locker in hopes to solve the mystery. They catch Arisa taking selfies of herself in these candid positions. She then admits to selfie addiction stemming from her desperation to reclaim her #1 popularity spot at the cafe from Midori. Due to the high pay, Nazuna also decides to continue working at the cafe. Ko encounters a tired-looking woman and tells her about the cuddle business. Upon revealing her identity as a detective, she questions Ko about a missing kid, Akiyama. Ko denies knowing him, but his lie doesn't convince her. Mahiru, Akira, and Ko decide to hang out at their school at night, where they attempt to summon Hanako-kun and stumble upon a missing teacher-turned-vampire. The vampire refrained from blood for 10 years due to a past love. The detective arrives and offers the vampire her blood, causing the vampire to choke. She then forces a silver ring onto him, causing his death at sunrise. The detective reveals that she handles vampire cases and intends to prevent Ko's transformation. Nazuna later reveals that vampires can die after a decade without blood intake, so that is likely what the teacher intended. Mahiru tries to convince Ko not to turn into a vampire, especially since they were just attacked by one. This leads Ko to question his motives for becoming a vampire. Nazuna confesses that she lied to Ko about the excitement of vampire life, since she mainly occupies her time with video games, planning chores, tracking packages, and visiting a bathhouse. So she states that the novelty is wearing out. Ko visits the detective and she outlines the problems caused by vampires and warns him about the potential risks. She offers to protect him and eliminate all vampires, but Ko firmly rejects. So the detective reports him to the police, reporting a middle school kid playing around at night, basically restricting his nightly activities and forcing him to stay at home all night. Now running from the police, Ko hides at a playground where he encounters Hatsuka, who is actually a guy, and informs him about the detective situation. Hatsuka tells Ko that the difference in blood taste among vampires is still unknown, and offers to turn Ko into one of his offspring to spare Nazuna the trouble. Hatsuka warns Ko of the consequences he might face if he resists the transformation. When Nazuna reveals to the popular vampires that Ko doesn't want to be a vampire, she is expected to disclose what Ko means to her. On reaching the vampire's location, Ko learns from Nico about Nazuna's consequence. She has to do whatever it takes to make Ko fall in love. But it turns out the popular vampires are secretly cheering for Ko and Nazuna. Ko finally finds Nazuna. They discuss her previous lies about the vampire life and reconcile, ending with a kiss. Season 2 just released this July, and this detective's presence hints at some vampire struggles ahead. Now, will Ko finally fall in love? Or do you think Nazuna will fall first? Do you think Mahiru's crush is a vampire? Let me know in the comments below. And I also hope you enjoyed the trivia throughout the recap. It's new and I kind of had fun with it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell to join our growing community of anime fans. And until next time, bye!